Hey everybody, welcome back to A Matter of Life and Maiden, the podcast of the Beast. I am Joe Labriola, and today is December 7th, 2024, and it's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I just woke up to some news that Nicko McBrain from Iron Maiden has announced his retirement from touring with the band after 42 years of touring with Iron Maiden, and I gotta say, I'm having a really hard time processing it, and I'm struggling with it immensely because wow, this guy has been a huge part of my life for 20 years. Ever since I was 18 years old, I'm 38 years old, and ever since I am 18 years old, the six-piece lineup of Iron Maiden has influenced me so much over the years, and I'm like holding back the tears here. My eyes are welling up and pulling up because this is a huge deal. This is the biggest news in regards to Iron Maiden since probably they reunited in 1999 as a six-piece band 25 years ago. And I know Nicko has had some health struggles in the past several years. He had vocal cord cancer in 2021 that he beat. He had a stroke in 2023, and he's 72 years old. And it's very selfish of me to be like, I want you to continue until you're 80 or 90 years old, right? But he has a life. He has things that he needs to do and things that he wants to accomplish and other ventures and businesses and things that he's trying to work on. And I will say this isn't the end. This isn't the end of Nicko McBrain. He's still around. He's still going to be part of the Iron Maiden family. He's still going to be doing projects with Rod and the rest of the guys. And I'm sure they have a bunch of stuff for us up their sleeves, whether that be a new album that he might have recorded that we haven't heard yet or whatever. But again, that's me being selfish. I don't want to say Senjutsu is the last album. I don't. I hope there's another one. I think there's another one. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'm so perplexed by it. But I just want to say, this episode is for Nicko McBrain. This episode, this podcast episode, me myself as a human being, Joe Labriola of A Matter of Life and Maiden, the podcast of the Beast. Matt and I grew up with Iron Maiden. We became learned people, even more learned people with Iron Maiden. They have influenced us over the last 20 years so much, and they are a huge part of my life. They are not just my favorite band, they are a way of life to me. They are my religion, they are a philosophy, they are one of my favorite things. They feel like home to me. Everything that they sing about, the content. I'm a professional teacher, a collegiate instructor teaching history. And honestly, a big part of that took me down that path and that trajectory is the influences they brought to me as a young man. I was confused when I was 17 or 18 years old about what I wanted to do. I always loved history. I always loved mythology, and I always loved philosophy, but I never knew how to apply it. I decided to start listening to metal music. Matt got me into metal music. Iron Maiden, for me, opened up the floodgates to all other kinds of music, but not just other kinds of heavy metal music or progressive rock music or progressive metal music, but literary works, film works, philosophical works, you name it. Who I am as a person, who I am today, recording this podcast episode on December 7th, 2024. I was shaped immensely by Iron Maiden. They are a guiding light to me, and they have been for my entire life for the last 20 years, and I owe a lot to Nicko for being a huge part of that. He is a hero to me. He is a hero to me, and I love him. And I speak for all Iron Maiden fans when I say that we love Nicko McBrain so much, and we are going to miss seeing him on the live tours. It's not going to be the same without him. He is woven into the fabric of Iron Maiden. He is the DNA of Iron Maiden. He is Iron Maiden. He is a legendary drummer, a legendary man. He is a golden god on earth. He is a god king on earth. He is a heavy metal god. He is a genuine human being. His character, his charisma, how he's carried himself over these last 42 years is an inspiration and an influence to my life. And I can say that, and I bet you ask any other Maiden fan on this planet, in this universe, in this galaxy, and they would echo the same sentiments that I'm saying here right now. Nicko McBrain, we love you. He has been on some of the most genre-defining, gargantuan, legendary, mind-bending, otherworldly, mystical, magical, fantastic studio LPs, live LPs, and tours in not just rock and roll and heavy metal history, but in music history. This guy is absolutely phenomenal, and I love him to death, and I'm going to keep saying it because he deserves all the recognition and all the support from us as fans. And I wish him the best in his future endeavors. And I will say this again, it's not like he's gone. He's still going to be participating in things for Iron Maiden, with Iron Maiden. It's just that he's taken a step back from the touring cycle and the grind. And again, with all due respect to him, it would be selfish of me to say, oh, Nicko, you need to keep going until you're 80, right? The guy's 72 years old, and he's given us 42, over 4 decades of amazing, monumental, gargantuan, unfathomable performances. Nicko, we love you. I love you as a Maiden fan. You have no idea. I wish I could shake your hand and look you in the eye and just tell you how much you mean to me as a person, as an individual, as a human being, and what you've given my life over the last 20 years. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's going to say that. I'm sure there's millions of people, millions of Maiden fans, millions of fans of Nicko McBrain who would sit there and say, you've influenced me so much. Like I said, not only from a literary standpoint or a film standpoint, also from a musical standpoint. You influenced me as a guitar player, as a bass player, as a singer, as a drummer, the entire band. And it's not the same. It's like you have a diadem and a crown on your head, and there's 6 jewels on it because of the 6-piece band, and one of those jewels is just gone, and you're trying to fill it in and replace it. And I'm not trying to discount whoever might be the new drummer for tour purposes for Iron Maiden. I'm sure that they're going to pick a class act, don't get me wrong, but it's still not going to be Nicko McBrain. Nobody is Nicko McBrain. There is only one. There is only one Nicko McBrain, just like there is only one Iron Maiden. And that, for me, was a 6-piece lineup since 1999 to the present. They are my Iron Maiden. They always will be. They are truly ingrained in me. They're like an extended family to me. And that's why this is so hard, and I'm so perplexed to talk about it. Because what Nicko means to me as a person, what he is, he's Iron Maiden. You know, you take him away, and it's not the same. And I'm not saying that the Run for Your Lives tour isn't going to be great. I'm sure it will be good. I'm sure they're going to put on a hell of a show in 2025 and 2026. A ton of shows that are going to be very, very good. But without Nicko, I don't know. Right now I'm having a hard time with it. I feel like there's going to be a void. And I'm so thankful to sit here and say, roughly a month ago, November 8th, I saw them on the Future Past tour, and I was so just sitting there so naive, not realizing that this might be the last time that I was ever going to see that 6-piece band, my Iron Maiden. The first show I saw them play in 2008. For the last 16, almost 17 years, I've seen them tour. I've seen 10 different shows, and every time it's been all 6 of those guys up there together as a band, as Iron Maiden. And with the absence of Nicko, I don't know, it's just very, very hard for me right now. Like, I'm holding back tears. Like, I love him so much. He brings so much, and he brought so much to my life. Made me the person I am today. He is a huge, integral part of who I am. And, you know, it's not just him. It's hard to explain this and put this into words. He is Iron Maiden, just like everybody else. You know, if Steve were to leave, or if Dave were to leave, or if Bruce were to leave, or if Jan or Adrian were to leave, it would be the same feeling. It's the way that they play together, how they influence each other, how they sound together, everything like that is so important and so paramount that it's hard to sit here and describe it. And I could sit here for hours on end, days on end, months on end, and I probably will. Maybe not on air. I won't record it in the podcast, but just ruminating about this in this announcement, because it is such a huge deal. I can't understate the impact of this. This is the biggest news in Iron Maiden's history since the reformation of the band in 1999 when they became a six-piece. For the last 25 years, they've been playing like this. Me, 20 years as a fan, have seen them this way. And, we know as fans that this was probably going to be inevitable. But I'll be honest with you, this took me by great surprise. I had no idea that it would happen this soon. I thought maybe after the Run for Your Lives tour in 2025 and 2026, Nicko at that point in time would have been 74, 75. But think of it that way. I mean, 74 and 75. I mean, he's not exactly as young as he used to be. And we take that kind of stuff for granted. You look back, I can remember for the first time seeing his face, because this was back in the early 2000s. I didn't know. YouTube was limited back then. You couldn't get full concerts and things like that like you can do now. You can carry your cell phone into a show and record an entire concert, and the quality footage is amazing. I just did it with Future Past Tour, my experience. And I have it up on a video here. It's like going to a concert. You can actually watch every song if you wanted to. Back then, it wasn't like that. I heard the music and I saw a couple pictures of what the guys looked like, but you didn't really know what they looked like or what they sounded like. And then I can remember when Rock in Rio came out, and Matt and I were watching it, and there was the behind the scenes DVD, and Yannick goes into the marketplace in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and he's like, "Look, it's Nicko McBrain," and he's pointing like some stuffed lion head or something, and it was funny and hilarious. And then it shows Nicko and Davey golfing, and Nicko's trying to, he has a putter out and he's trying to get the golf ball in the hole, and he's yelling at it and stuff. It was just seeing all those guys for the first time and getting to understand who they were as people, and then watching the early days behind the scenes DVD and the documentary, and the Live After Death behind the scenes DVD and documentary, and the Maiden England behind the scenes DVD and documentary, the Flight 666, the Death on the Road, the In Vivo, the Book of Souls live chapter, all that stuff. Seeing who they are as people, seeing how they carry themselves, all the YouTube videos where Nicko goes about his drums and how he designed it, and all the intricate artwork he has on it, and everything. That is part of the show. That makes the show. And that's unbelievable. And I think, when they tour in the future here with a new drummer, they're going to have some kind of homage to Nicko on the drum set. It has to be there. It has to be there. Maybe like a Nicko version of Eddie. A Nickofied version of Eddie would be awesome. But I can't. Wow. I'm still processing it. But I just wanted to hop on here today and share and just dedicate this episode to Nicko McBrain, because I love him and I miss him, and it's going to be very, very hard to see these shows live. I sit here, the 10th time I saw these guys on the Future Past Tour, I did not know that it would be my last time seeing Nicko McBrain play with Iron Maiden. Literally, about a month ago, almost to the day. Tomorrow will be exactly 1 month, almost to the day. Wow, I'm speechless. But I wish his family and his friends success for their future. Nicko's future is bright. He's still going to be part of Iron Maiden. He's still going to be part of a bunch of the things they have up their sleeve for us as fans. I'm sure they're going to release a slew of stuff down the line here, and maybe it'll be a new LP. I hope it is. We'll see what that's like. It'll be the last LP that Nicko ever played on, and we'll probably never see him play it live. Maybe they'll have the new drummer come in and fill in for it and play it. And it's kind of sad, because I was hoping that they would play shows from their tour focusing on Brave New World to the present with Nicko, but it doesn't look like that's going to be happening anytime soon. And that's a shame. I'm really sad. But again, that's me being selfish. As a fan, you can't expect him to play till he's 80 years old. They're not going to be finishing the Run for Your Lives tour until 2026, and at that point in time, like I said, he would be almost 75 years old, 74, 75. So if they were to do a tour after that, you can be 77, 78, almost 80 years old playing? I can't see that. I can't see that. So I hope they give us an album tour after the Run for Your Lives tour. And maybe Nicko will make some guest appearances on it, and he won't do extensive touring. Maybe he'll come and jump in a couple shows, like in Florida or something when they play. But that's where he's living. But we'll see. I'm just very, very shocked, very emotional right now. Like I said, holding back tears. But this episode is dedicated to Nicko McBrain, and I'll say it a million more times. We love you. And I can say this for every Maiden fan, from the bottom of our hearts, our minds, and our souls. We love you so much. Thank you for everything you've given us. From the Peace of Mind album to Senjutsu the present, the monumental live albums you were on, the monumental and otherworldly, magical, genre-defining, mind-bending tours, some of the greatest in music history. We love you. You made me, Joe Labriola, from A Matter of Life and Maiden, the person I am today. You are a huge part of that for the last 20 years, making me go down musical avenues, whether that be through my drumming, through bass playing, through guitar playing, through singing, all the things that you sing about. I mean, Nicko showed in one of the documentaries he had a samurai tattoo. All these guys are learned people. They're very smart, they're very educated, and like I said, it's almost like your extended family. A member of your extended family has decided to retire and not perform anymore, and it's hard. It's hard, but he's making the right decision. He knows what's good for him. And, Steve said this when he had a stroke. Steve said it when he had the cancer stuff going on. Same thing with Bruce when he had his cancer struggles. The most important thing is your health, and you have to be okay with what you're doing. And we love you no matter what. You've given us so much over the years. And I'm very, very thankful. Very, very thankful to be an Iron Maiden fan. And they are my favorite thing in the world, my favorite band in the world. They are a religion to me, my way of life. And they will never stop being that. Even after they retire, all of them, and they're gone, they will always be the greatest thing in my life that helped shape me into the person I am today through so much. And Nicko's a huge part of that. And he is Iron Maiden. I love you, Nicko. God bless you. Wish you the best in all your future endeavors. To you and yours. Everybody listening to A Matter of Life and Maiden, the podcast of the Beast. This episode's for Nicko. We love him. We're going to miss him immensely. And I'm gonna put a post. Stick around. I'm gonna put a post at the end of this of my love letter and my initial reaction to his retirement announcement today. And stay tuned after I'm done talking here to read the whole post. I'm gonna keep it up for about a minute. And everybody take care of yourselves out there. Long live Nicko McBrain. Long live Iron Maiden. We love Eddie and the boys. Up the irons. We love Nicko McBrain. Immortal. Golden god of heavy metal. He will live on forever in his work in the annals of time for all eternity. Again, Nicko, we love you. Everybody take care of yourselves out there. It's been Joe Labriola for A Matter of Life and Maiden. I'll see you guys next time.
Snobby, you need to do this.